Shakespeare and Company. Tonight, we complete our mission of reading all of Shakespeare's plays uncut in the first folio, plus, a few more in 2021. Oh,
hey.
Hi, Brianna.
Hi.
Brianna's been my partner in this endeavor, mostly behind the scenes, running the Zoom, creating all the weekly Instagram graphics for each show, and also running all the sound effect cues for each show. You may have been lucky enough to catch her in a couple of very memorable cameos over the past year, including tonight.
This has been an incredible project full of talented actors from across the whole country and even internationally. We would like to thank the many actors who have given their time and talents to this project, who have made this project a reality.
So grab your popcorn, tasty beverage, sit back and relax and enjoy Hamlet.
Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king.
Barnardo,
Ye?
you come most carefully upon the hour.
It is now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart.
Have you had quiet guard?
Not a mouse stirring.
Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste.
I think I hear them. Stand ho, who's there?
Friends to this ground.
Oh, and liegemen to the Dane.
Give you good night.
Oh, farewell, honest soldier. Who hath relieved you?
Barnardo hath my place. Give you good night.
Hola, Barnardo.
Say, what, is Horatio there?
Oh, piece of him.
Ah, welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What, has this thing appeared again tonight?
No, I've seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let our belief take hold of him, touching this dreaded sight twice seen of us. Therefore, I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, 'twill not appear.
Sit down a while. Let us once again assail your ears that are so fortified against our story, what we have 2 nights seen.
Well, sit we down and let us hear Barnardo speak of this.
Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole hath made his course to illumine the part of heaven where it now burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one.
Peace, break thee off. Look, what comes again?
The same figure like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar. Speak to it, Horatio.
Looks it not like the king? Mark it, Horatio.
Most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder.
It would be spoke to.
Speak to it, Horatio.
What art thou that usurps this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak.
It is offended.
See, it stalks away.
Stay! Speak! Speak! I charge thee, speak!
It is gone. It will not answer.
How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What think you want?
Before my God, I might not this believe without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Is it not like the king?
As thou art to thyself. Such was the very armor he had on when he the ambitious Norway combated. So frowned he once when in an angry parle he smote the sledded Pollux on the ice. 'Tis strange.
Thus twice before, and jump at this dead hour. With martial stock hath he gone by our watch.
In what particular thought to work, I know not. But in the gross and scope of mine opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state.
Good now, sit down and tell me, he that knows, why this same strict and most observant watch so mightily toils the subject of the land, and why such daily cast of brazen cannon and foreign mart for implements of war, why such impress of shipwrights whose sore task does not divide the Sunday from the week. What might be toward that this sweaty haste that make the night joint laborer with the day, Who is that can inform me?
That can I, at least the whisper goes so. Our last king, whose image even now appeared to us, was, as you know, by Fortinbras of Norway, thereto pricked on by a most emulate pride, dared to the combat, in which our valiant Hamlet, for so this side of our known world esteemed him, did slay Fortinbras, who by a sealed compact, well ratified by law and heraldry, did forfeit with his life all those his lands which he stood seized of to the conqueror. Against the which a moiety competit was gauged by our king, which had returned to the inheritance of Fortinbras had he been vanquisher, as by the same comart and carriage of the article designed, his fell to Hamlet. Now, sir, young Fortinbras, of unimproved metal hot and full, hath in the skirts of Norway here and there sharked up a list of lawless resolutes for food and diet to some enterprise that hath a stomach in't, which is no other, as it doth well appear unto our state, but to recover of us, by strong hand and terms compulsatory, those foresaid lands so by his father lost. And this, I take it, is the main motive of our preparations, the source of this our watch, and the chief head of this post-haste and rummage in the land.
I think it be no other but e'en so. Well, may it sort that this portentous figure comes armed through to our watch so like the king that was and is the question of these wars.
A mote it is to trouble the mind's eye. In the most high and palmy state of Rome, a little ere the mightiest Julius fell, the grave stood tenantless, and the sheeted dead did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets, as stars with trains of fire and dews of blood, disasters in the sun, and the moist star upon whose influence Neptune's empire stands, was sick almost to doomsday with eclipse. And even the like precursor of feared events, as harbingers preceding still the fates, and prologue to the omen coming on, have heaven and earth together demonstrated unto our climatures and countrymen. But soft, behold, lo, where it comes again. I'll cross it, though it blasts me. Stay, illusion! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done that may to thee do ease and grace to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily foreknowing may avoid, oh, speak! Or if thou hast deported in thy life extorted treasure in the womb of earth, for which, they say, your spirits oft walk in death, speak of it! Stay and speak! Stop it, Marcellus!
Shall I strike at it with my partisan?
Do if it will not stand.
It's here.
'Tis here.
It is gone. Oh, we do it wrong, being so majestical, to suffer it a show of violence, for it is as the air, invulnerable, and our vain blows malicious mockery.
It was about to speak when the cock crew.
And then it started like a guilty thing upon a fearful summons. I have heard the cock, that is the trumpet to the morn, doth with his lofty and shrill-sounding throat awake the god of day, and at his warning, whether in sea or fire, in earth or air, the extravagant and erring spirit hies to his confine, and of the truth herein this present object made probation.
Oh, it faded on the crowing of the cock. Some say that ever against that season comes, wherein our Saviour's birth is celebrated, this bird of dawning singeth all night long, and then they say no spirit dares stir abroad. The nights are wholesome, then no planets strike, no fairy takes, nor witch hath power to charm. So hallowed and so gracious is that time.
So have I heard, and do in part believe it. But look, the morn in russet mantle clad walks o'er the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break we our watch up, and by my advice, let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet, for, upon my life, this spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him. Do you consent we shall acquaint him with it, as needful in our loves, fitting our duty?
Let's do it, I pray. And I this morning know where we shall find him most convenient.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom be contracted in one brow of woe, yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we, with wisest sorrow, think on him together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, with mirth in funeral, and with dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all, our thanks. Now follows that you know young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late brother's death our state to be disjoint and out of frame, co-leagued with this dream of his advantage, he hath not failed to pester us with message importuning the surrender of those lands lost by his father with all bands of law to our most valiant brother. So much for him. Now for ourself, and for this time of meeting, thus much the business is. We have here writ to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, who, impotent and bedrid, scarcely hears of this his nephew's purpose, to suppress his further gait herein, in that the levies, the lists, and full proportions are all made out of his subjects. And we here dispatch you, good Cornelius, and you, Voltemand, for bearers of this greeting to old Norway, giving you no further personal power to business with this king, more than the scope of these dilated articles allow. Farewell, and let your haste commend out your duty.
In that and all things we will show our duty.
We doubt it nothing. Heartily farewell. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is't, Laertes? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane and lose your voice. What wouldst thou beg, Laertes? That shall not be my offer, not thy asking. The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France. From whence, though willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty to your coronation, yet now I must confess that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again towards France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by laborsome petition, and at last, upon his will, I sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, our cousin Hamlet and our son.
Little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted color off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou knowest 'tis common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam. Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath, no, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected havior of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play, but I have that within which passes show, these but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these morning duties to your father. But you must know that your father lost a father. That father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persever in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified or mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. For what we know must be, and is as common as any the most vulgar thing to sense, why should we in our peevish opposition take it to heart? Fie! It is a fault to heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature, to reason most absurd, whose common theme is death of fathers, and who still hath cried from the first course till he that died today, this must be so. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall, in all my best, obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come, this gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart in grace whereof no jocund health that Denmark drinks today, but the common cannon to the clouds shall tell, and the kings rouse, the heavens shall bruit again, re-speaking earthly thunder. Come, away.
Let this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his canon against self-slaughter. Oh God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Violent. Oh, fie. 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed things rank and gross in nature, possess it merely. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead, nay, not so much as 2, not 2, so excellent a king that was this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother, that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth must I remember him. Why, she should hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month. Let me not think on't. Frailty thy name is, woman. A little month, where those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears. Why, she, even she. God, a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer. Married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. O most wicked speed to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets, it is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
I am glad to see you well. Horatio, or I do forget myself.
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. And what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus.
My good lord.
I am very glad to see you. Good even, sir. But what in faith make you from Wittenberg?
A truant disposition, good my lord?
I would not hear your enemy say so. Nor shall you do my ear that violence to make it truster of your own report against yourself. I know you are no truant. But what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I prithee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I had seen that day, Horatio. My father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. Was a goodly king.
He was a man. Take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father.
Season your admiration for a while with an intent ear, till I may deliver upon the witness of these gentlemen this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Barnardo, on their watch, and the dead waste in middle of the night been thus encountered. A figure like your father, armed at point exactly, cap a pie, appears before them, and with solemn march goes slow and stately by them. Thrice he walked by their oppressed and fear surprised eyes within his truncheon's length, whilst they, distilled almost to jelly with the act of fear, stand dumb and speak not to him. This to me in dreadful secrecy impart they did, and I with them the 3rd night kept the watch, whereas they had delivered both in time form of the thing, each word made true and good, the apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watch.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none. Yet once methought it lifted up it head, and did address itself to motion like as it would speak. But even then the morning cock crew loud, and at the sound it shrunk in haste away, and vanished from our sight.
'Tis very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true. And we did think it writ down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed, sirs. But this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight?
We do, my lord.
Armed, you say?
Armed, my lord.
From top to toe?
My lord, from head to foot.
Then saw you not his face?
Oh yes, my lord, he wore his beaver up.
What, looked he frowningly?
Countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Pale or red?
Nay, very pale.
Fixed his eyes upon you?
Most constantly.
I would I had been there.
It would have much amazed you.
Very like. Very like. State it long.
Well, one with moderate haste might tell 100.
Oh, longer.
Not when I saw it.
His beard was grizzled, no?
It was, as I have seen it in his life, a sable silvered.
I will watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. I pray you all, if you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still. And whatsoever shall hap tonight, give it an understanding, but no tongue. I will requite your loves. So, fare you well. Upon the platform, twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to
Our
your
duty
honor.
and honor to your honor.
Your loves as mine to you. Farewell. My father's spirit. In arms. All is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were come. Till then, sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit and convey is assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet and the trifling of his favor, hold it up a fashion and a toy in blood, a violet in the youth of priming nature, forward, not permanent, sweet, not lasting, the perfume and suppliance of a minute. No more.
No more but so.
Think it no more. For nature crescent does not grow alone in thews and bulk, but as the temple waxes, the inward service of the mind and soul grows wide withal. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor cautel doth besmirch the virtue of his will, but you must fear. His greatness weighed, his will is not his own. For he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on this choice depends the safety and health of the whole state. And therefore must his choice be circumscribed unto the voice and yielding of that body whereof he is the head. And if he says he loves you, it fits your wisdom so far to believe it, as he is in his particular act and place may give his saying deed, which is no further than the main voice of Denmark goes with all. Then weigh what loss your honor may sustain if with too credent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire. The chariest maid is prodigal enough if she unmask her beauty to the moon. Virtue itself scapes not calumnious strikes, and canker the galls, the infants of the spring, that oft before their buttons be disclosed, and in the morn and liquid dew of youth, contagious blasphements are most imminent. Be wary then. Best safety lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though none else near.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. Good, my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst, like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path of dalliance treads, and recks not his own reed.
Fear me not. I stay too long, but here my father comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard, for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you're stayed for. There, my blessing with thee. And these few precepts in thy memory look thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them unto thy soul with hoops of steel. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear it that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit, as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. And they in France of the best rank and station are of a most select and generous cleft in that. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulleth edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true. And it must follow, as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invests you, go, your servants tend.
Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is it, Ophelia? He hath said to you.
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Marry, well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. If it be so, as so 'tis put on me, and that in way of caution, I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly as it behooves my daughter and your honor. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? Bah! You speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Mary, I will teach you. Think yourself a baby that you have taken these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly, or, not to crack the wind of this poor phrase, ringing it thus, you'll tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
Aye, fashion you may call it. Go to.
And hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, springes to catch woodcocks. I do know when the blood burns, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, giving more light than heat, extinct in both, even in their promise, as it is a making, you must not take for fire. From this time, be something scanter of your maiden presence. Set your entreatments at a higher rate than a command to parley. For Lord Hamlet believes so much in him that he is young, and with a larger tether may he walk than may be given you. In few, Ophelia, do not believe his vows, for they are brokers, not of that dye which their investments show, but mere implorators of unholy suits, breathing like sanctified and pious bonds, the better to beguile. This is for all. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you so slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
The air bites shrewdly. It is very cold.
It is a nipping and an eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lacks of 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed, I heard it not. It then draws near the season wherein the spirit held his wont to walk. What does this mean, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and takes his rouse, keeps wassail in the swaggering upspring reels. And as he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drum and trumpet thus bray out the triumph of his pledge.
Is it a custom?
Aye, merriest. But to the mind, though I am native here and to the manner born, it is a custom more honored than in the breach than in the observance. This heavy-headed revel east and west makes us traduced and taxed of other nations. They clip us drunkards and with swinish phrase soil our addition, and indeed it takes from our achievements, though performed at height, the pith and marrow of our attribute. So oft it chances in particular men that for some vicious mole of nature in them, as in their birth, wherein they are not guilty, since nature cannot choose its origin, by their o'ergrowth of some complexion, oft breaking down the pales and forts of reason, or by some habit that too much o'erleavens the form of plausive manners, that these men, carrying, I say, the stamp of one defect, being nature's livery or fortune's star, his virtues else, be they as pure as grace, as infinite as man may undergo, shall in the general censure take corruption from that particular fault. The dram of evil doth all the noble substance of a doubt to his own scandal.
Look, my lord, it comes.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Be thou a spirit of health, or goblin damned, bring with thee airs from heaven or blasts from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable, thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, king, father, royal dame. Oh, answer me. Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell why thy canonized bones, hearsed in death, have burst their cerements. Why the sepulchre wherein we saw thee quietly inert hath oped his ponderous and marble jaws to cast thee up again. What may this mean? That thou, dead corse, again in complete steel revisits thus the glimpses of the moon, making night hideous, and we fools of nature so horridly to shake our disposition with thoughts beyond the reaches of our souls. Say why this is. Wherefore? What should we do?
It beckons you to go away with it, as if it's some impartmented desire to you alone.
Look with what courteous action it waves you to a more removed ground. But do not go with it.
No, by no means.
Will not speak, then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why, what should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee, and for my soul, what can it do to that, being a thing immortal as itself? It waves me forth again. I'll follow it.
What if it tempt you toward the flood, my lord? Or to the dreadful summit of the cliff that beetles o'er his base into the sea, and there assumes some other horrible form which might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness? Think of it. The very place puts toys of desperation without more motive into every brain that looks so many fathoms to the sea and hears it roar beneath.
It waves me still. Go on. I'll follow thee.
No, you shall not go, my lord.
Hold off your hands.
Be ruled, you shall not go.
My fate cries out and makes each petty otter in this body as hardy as the Nemean lion's nerve. Still am I called. Unhand me, gentlemen. By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. I say, away! Go on. I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. 'Tis not fit thus to obey him.
Have after. To what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct it.
Nay, let's follow him.
Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak. I'll go no further.
Mark me.
I will.
My hour is almost come when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Yes, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So thou art to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain time to walk the night and for the day confined to fast in fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burned and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house, I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood, make thy 2 eyes like stars start from their spheres, thy knotted and combined locks to part, and each particular hair to stand on end, like quills upon the fearful porcupine. But this eternal blazon must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, list, oh, list! If thou didst ever thy dear father love,
Oh God,
revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
murder.
Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange and unnatural.
Haste me to note that I with wings swift as meditation or the thoughts of love may sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt, and duller shouldst thou be than the fat weed that roots itself in ease in Lethe wharf, wouldst thou not stir in this. Now, Hamlet, hear. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me, so the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
My uncle.
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wits, with traitorous gifts. Oh, wicked wit and gifts that have the power so to seduce. One, to his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there from me, whose love was of that dignity that it went hand in hand even with the vow I made her in marriage to decline upon the wretch whose natural gifts were poor to those of mine. But virtue, as it never will be moved, though lewdness caught it in a shape of heaven, so lust, though to the radiant angel linked, will sate itself in celestial bed and prey on garbage. But soft, methinks I smell the morning air. Brief let me be, sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole, with juice of cursed Tabona in a vial, and in the porches of my ears did pour the leprous distilment, whose effect holds such an enmity with blood of man, and swift as quicksilver that courses through the natural gates and alleys of the body. And with a sudden vigour it doth posset and curd like eager droppings into milk, the thin and wholesome blood, so did it mine, and a most instant tetter barked about most laids alike with vile and loathsome crust all my smooth body. Thus was I sleeping by a brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen at once dispatched, cut off, even in the blossoms of my sin unhouselled, disappointed, unanelled, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible! Oh, horrible, most horrible! If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursues this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge, to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near, and gins to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Remember me.
Oh, you host of heaven, oh earth, what else? And shall I couple hell? Oh, fie, hold my heart, and you my sinews. Grow not instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Remember thee. Ay, thou poor ghost, whilst memory holds a seat in this distracted globe, remember thee. Yea, from the table of my memory I'll wipe away all trivial fond records, all saws of books, all forms, all pressures past that youth and observation copied there in thy commandment, all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter. Yes, by heaven. Oh, most pernicious woman. Oh, villain. Villain, smiling, damned villain. My tables. Meet it as I set it down, that one may smile and be a villain. At least I am sure it may be so in Denmark. So, uncle, there you are. Now to my word. It is adieu. Adieu. Remember me. I have sworn.
My lord, my lord.
Lord Hamlet?
Heaven secure him.
So be it.
Oh, my lord. Oh.
Hello. Oh, boy, come, bird, come.
How is my noble lord?
What news, my lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Good, my lord, tell it.
No, you will reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
Not I, my lord.
How say you then? Would heart of man once think it, but you'll be secret.
Aye, by heaven, my lord.
There's never a villain dwelling in all Denmark, but he's an errant knave.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
Why, right. You are in the right. And so, without more circumstances at all, I hold it fit that we shake hands and part. You, as your business and desire, shall point you, for every man hath business and desire, such as it is. And for my own poor part, I will go pray.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
I'm sorry they offend you, heartily. Yes, faith, heartily.
There's no offense, my lord.
Yes, by St. Patrick, but there is, Horatio, and much offense too. Touching this vision here, it is an honest ghost, let me tell you, for your desire to know what is between us, or master as you may. And now, good friends, as you are friends, scholars, and soldiers, give me one poor request.
What is, my lord? We will.
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Well, not I, my lord, in faith.
Upon my sword.
We have sworn, my lord, already.
Indeed, upon my sword. Indeed.
Swear!
So, art thou there, Truppany? Come on. You hear this fellow in the cellarage. Consent to swear.
Propose the oath, my lord.
Never to speak of this that you have seen. Swear by my sword.
Swear!
Then we'll shift our ground. Come, hither, gentlemen, and lay your hands again upon my sword. Swear by my sword never to speak of this that you have heard.
Swear by his sword!
Well said, old mole. Canst work of the earth so fast. A worthy pioneer. Once more, remove, good friends.
Oh, day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
Therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here as before, never, so help you mercy, how strange or odd some'er I bear myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think me to put on an antic disposition on, that you, such time seeing me, never shall, with arms encumbered thus, or this head shake, or by pronouncing of some doubtful phrase, as well we know, or we could, and if we would, or if we list to speak, or there be, and if they might, or such ambiguous giving out to note that you know aught of me. This do swear, so grace and mercy at your most need help you.
Swear!
Swear!
Rest, rest, perturbed spirit. So, gentlemen, with all my love I do commend me to you, and what so poor a man as Hamlet is may do to express his love and friending to you, God willing shall not lack. Let us go in together, and still your fingers on your lips, I pray. The time is out of joint. O cursed spite that ere I was born to set it right. Nay, come, let's go together.
Give him this money and these notes, Reynaldo.
I will, my lord.
You shall do marvels wisely, good Reynaldo, before you visit him, to make inquire of his behavior.
My lord, I did intend it.
Mary, well said. Look, you sir, inquire me first what danskers are in Paris, and how and who, what means and where they keep, what company, at what expense. And finding by this encompassment and drift of question that they do know my son, come you more nearer than your particular demands will touch it. Take you as 'twere some distant knowledge of him, as thus: I know his father and his friends, and impart him. Do you mark this, Reynaldo?
Very well, my lord.
And impart him, but, you may say, not well. But if it be he, I mean, he's very wild, addicted, so and so. And there put on him what forgery as you please. Mary, none so rank as may dishonor him, take heed of that. But, sir, such wanton, wild, and usual slips as our companions noted and most known to youth and liberty.
As gaming, my lord.
Aye, or drinking, fencing, swearing, quarreling, drabbing. You may go so far.
My lord, that would dishonor him.
Faith, as you may season it in the charge. You must not put another scandal on him that he is open to incontinency. That's not my meaning. But breathe his faults so quaintly that they may seem the taints of liberty, the flash and outbreak of a fiery mind, of savageness in unreclaimed blood, of general assaults.
But good my lord.
Wherefore should you do this?
I, my lord, I would know that.
Marry, sir, here's my drift, and I believe it is a fetch of wit. You laying these slight sallies on my son, as 'twere a thing a little soiled with working, mark you, your party in converse, him you would sound, having ever seen in the prenominant crimes the youth you breathe of guilty. Be assured he closes with you in this consequence, good sir, or so, or friend, or gentleman, according to the phrase or edition of the man or country.
Very good, my lord.
And then, sir, he does, what was I about to say? By the mass, I was about to say something. Where did I leave?
It closes in the consequence.
Aye. It closes in the consequences. Aye, Mary. He closes thus. I know the gentleman. I saw him yesterday, or the other day, or then, with such or such. And as you say, there was a gaming, there o'ertook in his rouse, there falling out at tennis, or perchance I saw him enter such a house of sale, videlicet a brothel, or so forth. See you now. Your bait of falsehood take this carp of truth, and thus do we of wisdom and of reach, with windlasses and with assays of bias, by indirections find directions out. So, by my formal lecture and advice shall you, my son. You have me, have you not?
My lord, I have.
Goodbye ye, fare ye well.
Good, my lord.
Observe his inclination in yourself.
I shall, my lord.
And let him ply his music.
Well, my lord.
Farewell. How now, Ophelia? What's the matter?
Oh, my lord. My lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet with his doublet all unbraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled, ungartered, and down jived to his ankle, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous and purpose, as if he'd been loosed at a pelt to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
Oh, my lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. And then he goes to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his brow he falls, to such a perusal of my face as I would draw it. Long stayed he so at last, a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh, so piteous and profound as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out of doors he went without their helps, and to the last bended their light on me.
Come, go with me. I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property foredoes itself, and leads the will to desperate undertakings as oft as any passions under heaven that does afflict our natures. Oh, I am sorry. What? Have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not courted him. I feared he did but trifle and meant to rack thee. But beshrew my jealousy. By heaven, it is as proper to our age to cast beyond ourselves in our opinions as it is common for the younger sort to lack discretion. Come, we to the king. This must be known, which, being kept close, might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love. Come.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you, the need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation, so call it, since nor the exterior nor the inward man resembles that it was, what it should be more than his father's death, thus hath put him so much from the understanding of himself, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both, that being of so young days brought up with him, and since so neighbored to his youth and behavior, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so by your companies to draw him on to pleasures, and to gather so much as from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that opened lies within our remedy.
Good gentlemen, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am 2 men there is not living to whom he more adheres. If it will please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to expend your time with us a while for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesties might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves at the full bent to lay our service freely at your feet, to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Go, some of you, and bring these gentlemen where Hamlet is.
Heavens, make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Aye, amen.
The ambassadors from Norway, my good lord, are joyfully returned.
Thou still hast been the father of good news.
Have I, my lord? I assure my good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king. And I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy so sure as it hath used to do, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
Give first admittance to the ambassadors. My news shall be the fruit to that great feast.
Thyself do grace to them and bring them in. He tells me, my dear Gertrude, he hath found the head and source of all your son's distemper.
I doubt it is no other but the main, his father's death and our hasty marriage.
Well, we shall sift him. Welcome, my good friends, say Voltemand. What from our brother Norway?
Most fair return of greetings and desires. Upon our first, he set out to suppress his nephew's levies, which to him appeared to be a preparation against the Prologue. But better looked into, he truly found it was against your highness. Whereat grieved that so his sickness, age, and impotence was falsely borne in hand, sends out arrest on Fortinbras, which he in brief obeys, receives rebuke from Norway, and in fine, makes vow before his uncle nevermore to give the say of arms against your majesty. Whereon old Norway, overcome with joy, gives him 70,000 crowns in annual fee, and his commission to employ those soldiers, so levied as before against the Prologue, with an entreaty herein further shown, that it might please you to give quiet pass through your dominions for this enterprise, on such regards of safety and allowance as therein are set down.
It likes us well. And at our more considered time, we'll read, answer, and think upon this business. Meantime, we thank you for your well-took labor. Go to your rest. At night we'll feast together. Most welcome home.
This business is well ended. My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night, night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad I call it, for to define true madness, what is it but to be nothing else but mad? But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he's mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true. Foolish figure, but farewell to it, for I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then. And now remains that we find out the cause of this effect, or rather to say the cause of this defect, for this effect, defective, comes by cause. Thus it remains, the remainder thus perpends. I have a daughter, while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. Now, gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. Oh, that's an ill, vile phrase, beautified. It's a vile phrase. But you shall hear thus. In her excellent white bosom, these, etc.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay a while. I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not aught to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. Oh, most best, believe it. Adieu, thine evermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter shown me, and more above hath his solicitings, as they fell out by time, by means, and place, all given to mine ear.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man faithful and honorable.
I would fain prove so. But what might you think when I had seen this hot love on the wing, as I perceived it, I must tell you that before my daughter told me, what might you, or my dear majesty, your queen here, think if I had played the desk or the table book, or given my heart a winking mute and numb, or looked upon this love with idle sight? What might you think? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star. This must not be. And then I prescripts gave her that she should lock herself from his resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens. Which done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he, repelled, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then into a fast, thence to a watch, thence into a weakness, thence to a lightness, and by this declination into the madness wherein now he raves, and all we mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be, very like.
Hath there been such a time, I would fain know that I have positively said 'tis so when it proved otherwise.
Not that I know.
Take this from this, if this be otherwise. If circumstances lead me, I will find where truth is hid, though it were hid indeed within the center.
How may we try it further?
You know, sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
So he does, indeed.
At such time, I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras then, mark the encounter. If he love her not, and be not from his reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for a state, but keep a farm and carters.
We will try it.
Oh, but look, where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, I do beseech you both, away. I'll board him presently. Oh, give me leave. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
God a mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent well. You are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Oh, then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir. To be honest, as this world goes, is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, my lord.
For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a good kissing carrion, have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk of the sun. Conception is a blessing, but as your daughter may conceive, friend, look to it.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter, yet he knew me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger. He's far gone, and truly in my youth I suffered much extremity for love, very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words. Words. Words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean, the matter that you read, my lord.
Slanders, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purging thick amber and plum tree gum, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hams, all which, sir, though I most powerfully and potentially believe, yet I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down by you. For yourself, sir, shall grow old as I am, if, like a crab, you could go backward.
If this be madness, yet there is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. A happiness that often madness hits on, which reason and sanity could not so prosperously be delivered of. I will leave him and suddenly contrive the means of meeting between him and my daughter. My lord, I will take my leave of you.
You cannot take from me anything that I will not more willingly part withal, except my life. If except my life.
Fare you well, my lord.
These tedious old fools.
You go to seek the Lord Hamlet. There he is.
God save you, sir.
My honored lord.
My most dear lord.
My excellent good friends. How dost thou, Guildenstern? Ah, Rosencrantz, good lads, how do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy. On fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe?
Oh, neither, my lord.
Ah, then you live about her waist, or in the middle of her favors?
Faith, her privates, we.
In the secret parts of fortune. Oh, most true, she is a strumpet. What news?
None, my lord, but the world's grown honest.
Then doomsday is near.
Hmm.
But your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord.
Denmark's a prison.
Then is the world one.
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons, Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why then 'tis none for you. For there is nothing either good or bad, but nothing thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh God, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself king of infinite space, were it not that I have bad dreams.
Which dreams indeed are ambition, for the very substance of the ambitious is merely the shadow of a dream.
The dream itself is but a shadow.
Truly, I hold ambition of so airy and light a quality that it is but a shadow's shadow.
Then are our beggars' bodies and our monarchs and outstretched heroes the beggars' shadows. Shall we to the court? For by my fay I cannot reason.
We'll wait upon you.
No such matter. I will not sort you with the rest of my servants, for to speak to you like an honest man, I am most dreadfully attended. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion.
Beggar that I am even poor in thanks. But I thank you, and sure, dear friends, my thanks are too dear a halfpenny. Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, come, deal justly with me. Come, come. Nay, speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there is a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. But let me conjure you by the rights of our fellowship, by the consonancy of our youth, by the obligation of our ever-preserved love, and by what more dear a better prosper can charge you withal, but even and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no.
What say you?
Nay, then I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen moult no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof, fretted with golden fire, why it appeareth nothing to me but a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is man, how noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable in action. How like an angel in apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world, paragon of animals, and yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me, nor women neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then when I said man delights not me?
Well, to think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. We coted them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service.
He that plays the king shall be welcome.
Oh.
His majesty shall have tribute on me. This adventurous knight shall use his foil and target. The lover shall not sigh gratis. The humorous man shall end his part in peace. The clowns shall make those laugh whose lungs are tickle of the seer. And the lady shall say her mind freely, or the blank verse shall halt for it. What players are they?
Even those you were wont to take such delight in, the tragedians of the city.
How chances it they travel? Their residence, both in reputation and profit, was better both ways.
I think their inhibition comes by the means of the late innovation.
Did they hold the same estimation they did when I was in the city? Are they so followed?
Indeed, no, they are not.
How comes it? Did they grow rusty?
Well, aye, their endeavor keeps in the wonted place, but there is, sir, an array of children, little Iases, that cry out on the top of question and are most tyrannically clapped for it. These are now the fashion, and so berattled the common stages, so they call them, that many wearing rapiers are afraid of goose quills and dare scarce come hither.
What? Are they children? Who maintains them? How are they escotted? Will they pursue the quality no longer than they can sing? Will they not say afterwards, if they should grow themselves to common players, as it is most like if their means are no better, their writers do them wrong to make them exclaim against their own succession?
Faith, there has been much to do on both sides, and the nation holds it no sin to tear them to controversy. There was for a while no money bid for argument, unless the poet and the player went to cuffs in the question.
Is it possible?
There has been much throwing about the brains.
Do the boys carry it away?
Aye, that they do, my lord. Hercules and his load, too.
It is not very strange. For my uncle is king of Denmark, and those that would make mouths at him while my father lived give 20, 40, 50, 100 ducats apiece for his picture and little. 'Sblood. There is something in this more than natural. Philosophy could find it out.
Ah, there are the Blairs.
Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. Your hands, come then. The appurtenance of welcome is fashion and ceremony. Let me comply with you in this garb, lest my extent to the players, which I tell you must show fairly outwards, should more appear like entertainment than yours. You are welcome, but my uncle father and aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad, north-northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
Well be with you, gentlemen.
Hark you, Guildenstern, and you two, at each ear a hearer. That great baby you see there is not yet out of his swaddling cloths.
Happily, he is the second time come to them, for they say an old man is twice a child.
I will prophesy he comes to tell me of the players. Mark it. You say aright, sir. A Monday morning, 'twas then indeed.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you. When Roscius was an actor in Rome.
The actors are come hither, my lord.
Buzz!
Upon my honor.
Oh! Then came each actor on his ass.
The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, comical, historical, pastoral, tragical, historical, tragical, comical, historical, pastoral, scene indivisible, or poem unlimited. Seneca cannot be too heavy, nor Plautus too light. For the law of writ and the liberty, these are the only men.
Oh, Jephthah of judge of Israel, what a treasure hadst thou.
What treasure had he, my lord?
Why, one fair daughter, and no more, the which he loved passing well.
Still on my daughter.
Am I not in the right, old Jephthah?
If you call me Jephthah, my lord, I have a daughter that I love passing well.
Nay, that follows not.
What follows then, my lord?
Why, as by lot, God wot, and then you know it came to pass as most like it was. The first row of the pious chanson will show you more, for look where my abridgment comes. You are welcome, masters, welcome all. I am glad to see thee well. Welcome, good friends. Oh, old friend, why, thy face is valanced since I saw thee last. Comest thou to beard me in Denmark? What, my young lady and mistress? By lady, your ladyship is nearer to heaven than when I saw you last, by the altitude of a Chopin. Pray God your voice, like a piece of uncurrent gold, be not cracked within the ring. Masters, you are all welcome. We'll e'en toot like French falconers, fly at anything we see. We'll have a speech straight. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my good lord?
I heard thee speak me a speech once, but it was never acted, or if it was, not above once. For the play, I remember, pleased not the million. 'Twas caviary to the general, but it was as I received it, and others whose judgments in such matters cried in the top of mine, an excellent play, well digested in the scenes, set down with as much modesty as cunning. I remember one said there were no salads in the lines to make the matter savory, nor no matter in the phrase that might indict the author of affectation, but called it an honest method, as wholesome as sweet, and by very much more handsome than fine. One speech in I chiefly loved. 'Twas Aeneas' tale to Dido, and thereabout of it, especially when he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it live in your memory, begin at this line. Let me see. The rugged Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast. No, 'tis not so. It begins not with Pyrrhus. No, the rugged Pyrrhus, he whose sable arms, black as his purpose, did the night resemble when he lay couched in the ominous horse, hath now this dread and black complexion smeared with heraldry more dismal. Head to foot, now he is total gules, horridly tricked with blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, baked and impasted with the parching sheets that lend a tyrannous and damned light to their lord's murder. Roasted in wrath and fire, and thus o'ersized with coagulate gore, with eyes like carbuncles, the hellish Pyrrhus, old grandsire Priam seeks. So proceed you.
Forgot, my lord, well spoken, with good accent and good discretion.
Anon he finds him, striking too short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls, repugnant to command. Unequal matched Pyrrhus at Priam drives, enraged strikes wide, but with whiff and wind of his fell sword the unnerved father falls. Then senseless Ilium, seeming to feel this blow, with flaming top stoops to his base, with a hideous crash, takes prisoner Pyrrhus's ear, for lo, his sword, which was declining on the milky head of reverend Priam, seemed in the air to stick. So as a painted tyrant, Pyrrhus stood, and like a neutral to his will and matter, did nothing. But as we often see against some storm, a silence in the heavens, the rack stands still, the bold winds speechless, and the orb below as hush as death. Anon the dreadful thunder doth rend the region. So, after Pyrrhus's pause, aroused vengeance sets him new a work. And never did the Cyclops' hammers fall on Mars' armored forge for proof etern with less remorse than Pyrrhus' bleeding sword now falls on Priam. Out! Out, strumpet fortune! All you gods in general synod, take away her power. Break all the spokes and fellies from her wheel, and bowl the round navel down the hill of heaven, as low as to the fiends.
This is too long.
It shall to the barbers with your beard. Prithee, say on. He's for a jig or a tale of bawdry, or he sleeps. Say on. Come to Hecuba.
But who, oh woe, had seen the moblid queen?
Moblid queen?
That's good. Moblid queen is good.
Run barefoot up and down, threatening the flames with bison rheum, a clout upon that head where late the diadem stood, and for a robe about her, lank and all o'er-teamed loins, a blanket in the alarm of fear caught up. Who this had seen, with tongue envenomed steeped, 'gainst fortune's state would treason have pronounced. But if the gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamor that she made, unless these mortal move them not at all, would have made milk from the burning eyes of heaven and passion in the gods.
Look, wherever he has not turned his color and has tears in his eyes, I'll pray thee no more.
'Tis well. I'll have thee speak out the rest of this soon. Good my lord, will you see the players well bestowed? Do you hear? Let them will be well used, for they are the abstract and brief chronicles of the time. After your death, you were better have a bad epitaph than their ill report while you live.
My lord, I will use them according to their deserts.
God's bodkin, man, much better. Use every man after his desert, and who shall scape whipping, huh? Use them after your own honor and dignity. The less they deserve, the more merit is in your bounty. Take them in.
Oh, come, sirs.
We'll follow him, friends. We'll hear a play tomorrow. Dost thou hear me, old friend? Can you play the murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
We'll have tomorrow night. You could for need study a speech of some dozen lines or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in, could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Follow that lord, and look you mock him not. My good friends, I'll leave you till night. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good my lord.
Aye, so. Goodbye to you. Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit, that from her working all the visage wand, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit. And all for nothing. For Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant and amaze indeed the very faculty of eyes and ears. Yet I, dull and muddy-mettled rascal, peaked like John a Dreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing? No, not for a king upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain, breaks my pate across, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie of the throat as deep as to the lungs. Who does me this? Swoons. I should take it, or it cannot be, but I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter, or ere this I should have fatted all the region kites with this slave's offal. Bloody body villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain. What an ass I am! This is most brave that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must like a whore unpack my heart with words and fall a-cursing like a very drab, a stallion. Fie upon it, fie. About my brains. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak, most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks. I'll tend him to the quick. If I do blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be a devil. The devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape, yea, and perhaps out of my weakness, my melancholy, as he is very potent with what spirits, uses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. Plays the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
And can you by no drift of conference get from him why he puts on this confusion, grating so harshly all his days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous lunacy?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness keeps aloof when we would bring him on to some confession of his true state.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
But with much forcing of his disposition.
Sparing of question, but of our demands most free in his reply.
Did you essay him to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that certain players we o'erwrought on the way, of these we told him, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it. They are here about the court, and as I think they already have ordered this night to play before him.
It is most true, and he beseeched me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge and drive his purpose into these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us too, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as 'twere by accident, may here affront Ophelia. Her father and myself will so bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather by him, as he is behaved, if it be the affliction of his love or no, that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope your virtues will bring him to his wonted way again, to both your honors.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk you here. Gracious, so please you, we will bestow ourselves. Read this book, that show of such an exercise may color your loneliness. We are oft to blame in this. 'Tis too much proved that with devotion's visage and pious action we do sugar o'er the devil himself.
Oh, 'Tis too true. How smart a lash that speech doth give my conscience. The harlot's cheek, beautied with plastering art, is not more ugly to the thing that helps it than is my deed to my most painted word. O heavy burden!
I hear him coming. Withdraw, my lord.
Be or not to be? That is the question, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep perchance to dream, aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, proud man's contumely, pangs, despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietest make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country, from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus, conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pitch and moment with this regard their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. Soft, you know, fair Ophelia, nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well. My
lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did. And with them, words of so sweet breath composed as made these things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again. For to the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly. For the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into this likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should such fellows as I do crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant knaves, believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in's own house. Farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heavens.
If thou dost, Mary, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery. Farewell. Or, if thou wilt needs marry a fool. The wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go. Quickly to farewell.
The heavenly powers restore him.
I have heard of your paintings well enough. God hath given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig and amble, and you lisp, you nickname God's creatures, and make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to, I'll no more on it. It hath made me mad. I say we will have no more marriage. Those that are married already, all but one, shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery. Go.
What a noble mind is here outgrown. Courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectation and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers, quite down, and I, of ladies, most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled out of time, and harsh that unmatched form and stature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Woe is me. I've seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Love? His affections do not that way tend, nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul, o'er which his melancholy sits on brood, and I do doubt the hatch and the disclose will be some danger, which for to prevent, I have in quick determination thus set it down. He shall with speed to England for the demand of our neglected tribute. Haply the seas and countries different with variable objects shall expel this something settled matter in his heart, whereon his brain still beating puts him thus from fashion of himself. What think you on't?
It shall do well, but yet do I believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. Ophelia, how now, Ophelia? You need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you please, but if you hold it fit, after the play, let his queen mother, all alone, entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him, and I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she find him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. But if you mouth it, as many of our players do, I had as lief the town crier spoke my lines. Nor do not saw the air too much with your hand thus, but use all gently. For in the very torrent, tempest, and as I may say, whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness. Oh, it offends me to the soul to hear a bustious, periwig, pated fellow tear a passion to tatters, to very rags to spleet the ears of the groundlings, who for the most part are capable of nothing but inexplicable dumb shows and noise. I would have had such a fellow whipped for o'erdoing Termagant, out Herod's Herod. Pray you, avoid it.
I warrant your honor.
Be not too tame, neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action, with this special observance, that you o'erstep not the modesty of nature, for anything so o'erdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end, both at the first and now, was and is to hold as 'twere the mirror up to nature, to show virtue her feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time his form and pressure. Now this o'erdone, come tardy off, though it makes the unskillful laugh, cannot but make the judicious grieve, the censure of which one must in your allowance o'erweigh a whole theatre of others. Now there be players that I have seen play, and heard others praise, and that highly, not to speak it profanely, that neither having the accent of Christians, nor the gait of Christian pagan nor man, have so strutted and bellowed, that I have thought some of nature's journeymen had made men, and not made them well. They imitated humanity so abominably.
I hope we have reformed that indifferently with us, sir.
Oh, reform it altogether. And let those that play your clowns speak no more than is set down for them. For there be of them that will themselves laugh, to set on some quantity of barren spectators to laugh too, though in the meantime some necessary question of the play be then to be considered. That's villainous, and shows a most pitiful ambition in the fool that uses it. Go, make you ready. Oh, how now, my lord? Will the king hear this piece of work?
And the queen too, and that presently.
Bid the players make haste. Will you two help to hasten them?
Aye, my lord.
What ho, Horatio!
Here, sweet lord, at your service.
Ah, Horatio, thou art e'en as just a man as e'er my conversation caught withal.
Oh, my dear lord.
Nay, do not think I flatter. For what advancement may I hope from thee that no revenue hast but thy good spirits to feed and clothe thee? Why should the poor be flattered? No. Let the candied tongue lick absurd pomp, and crook the pregnant hinges of the knee where thrift may follow fawning. Dost thou hear? Since my dear soul was mistress of her choice, and could of men distinguish her election, she hath sealed thee for herself. For thou hast been as one in suffering, all that suffers nothing, a man that fortune's buffets and rewards hath ta'en with equal thanks, and blessed are those whose blood and judgment are so well commedled that they are not a pipe for fortune's finger to sound what stop she please. Give me that man that is not passion's slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core, aye, in my heart of heart, as I do thee. Something too much of this. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes near the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death. I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe my uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen, and my imaginations are as foul as Vulcan's stithy. Give him heedful note, for mine eyes will rivet to his face, and after we will both judge our judgments, join in censure of his seeming.
Well, my lord, if he steal aught, though whilst this play is playing and 'scape detecting, I will pay the theft.
They're coming to the play. I must be idle. Get you a place.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent. The faith of the chameleon's dish. I eat the air, promise crowned. You cannot feed capons, so.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now. My lord, you played once at the university, you say?
That did I, my lord, and was accounted a good actor.
What did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
It was a brute part of him to kill so capital a calf. There, be the players ready.
Aye, my lord, they stay upon your patience.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet, sit by me.
Oh, no, good mother. Here's metal more attractive.
Oh, do you mark that?
Lady, shall I lie on your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Do you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
That's a fair thought, to lie between maids' legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You are merry, my lord.
Who? I?
I, my lord.
Oh, God, you're only jig maker. What should a man do but be merry? For look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord.
So long. Nay, then let the devil wear black, for I'll have a suit of sables. Oh, heavens. Died 2 months ago and not forgotten yet. And there's hope a great man's memory may outlive his life half a year, but by Our Lady, I must build churches then, or else shall suffer not thinking on with the hobby horse whose epitaph is for oh, the hobby horse is forgot.
Dumb show follows. Enter a king and a queen, very lovingly. The queen embracing him, and he her. She kneels and makes a show of protestation unto him. He takes her up and declines his head upon her neck. He lies him down upon the bank of flowers. She, seeing him asleep, leaves him. Anon come in. Another man takes off his crown, kisses it, pours poison in the sleeper's ears, and leaves him. The queen returns, finds the king dead, makes passionate action. The poisoner, with some 3 or 4 mutes, come in again, seem to condole with her. The dead body is carried away. The poisoner woos the queen with gifts. She seems harsh and unwilling a while, but in the end accepts love.
What means this, my lord?
Mary, this mitching maleko, it means mischief.
Belike this show imports the argument of the play?
We shall know by this fellow. The players cannot keep counsel. They'll tell all.
Will it tell us what this show meant?
Aye, or any show that you will show him. Be not you ashamed to show, he'll not shame to tell you what it means.
You are not. I'll mark the play.
For us and for our tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
Is this a prologue or the posy of a ring?
'Tis brief, my lord.
As woman's love.
Full 30 times hath Phoebus's cart round Neptune's salt wash, and Tellus' orbit ground, and 30 dozen moons with borrowed sheen. About the world have times 12 30s been. Since love our hearts and hymen did our hands unite commutual in most sacred bands.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again count o'er ere love be done. But woe is me. You are so sick of late, so far from cheer and from your former state that I distrust you. Yet though I discomfort you, my lord, it nothing must for women's fear and love hold quantity in neither aught or in extremity. Now what my love is, proof hath made you know, and as my love is side, my fear is so. Where love is great, the littlest doubts are fear. Where little fears grow great, great love grows there.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My operant powers their functions leave to do. and thou shalt live in this fair world behind. Honored, beloved, and happily one as kind for husband shalt thou.
Ah, confound the rest. Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband, let me be accursed. None wed the second, but who killed the first. Oh, the instances that second marriage move are base respects of thrift, but none of love. A second time I kill my husband dead, when second husband kisses me in bed.
I do believe you think what now you speak, but what we determine oft we break. Purpose is but the slave to memory of violent birth, but poor validity, which now the fruit unripe sticks on the tree, but shall unshaken when they mellow be. Most necessary 'tis that we forget to pay ourselves what to ourselves is debt. The passion ending doth purpose lose. What to ourselves in passion we propose, the passion ending doth the purpose lose. The violence of either grief or joy, their own enactures with themselves destroy. Where most joy revels, grief doth most lament. Grief joy, joy grieves on slender accident. The world is not for aye, nor 'tis not strange that even our loves should be with our fortunes change. For 'tis a question left us yet to prove, whether love lead fortune or else fortune love. The great man down, you mark his favorites flies. The poor advanced makes friends of enemies, and hitherto doth love on fortune tend. For who not needs shall never lack a friend, and who in want of hollow friend doth try, directly seasons him his enemy. But orderly to end where I begun. Our wills and fates do so contrary run, that our devices still are overthrown. Our thoughts are ours, their ends are none our own. So think thou wilt no second husband wed, but die thy thoughts when thy first lord is dead.
Nor earth to me give food, nor heaven light. Sport and repose lock from me day and night. To desperation turn my trust and hope, an anchor's chair in prison be my scope. Each opposite that blanks the face of joy meet what I would have well and it destroy. But here and hence pursue me lasting strife. If once I be a widow, ever I be a wife.
She should break it now.
'Tis deeply sworn, sweet. Leave me here a while. My spirits grow dull, and fain I would beguile the hideous day with sleep.
Sleep rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain.
Madam, how like you this play?
The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
Oh, but she'll keep her word.
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offense in't?
No, they do but jest, poison in jest. No offense to the world.
What do you call the play?
The Mouse Trap. Mary, how? Tropically. This play is the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago is the duke's name, his wife Baptista. You shall see anon. 'Tis a knavish piece of work, but what of that, your majesty? And we that have free souls, it touches us not. Let the galled jade winch our withers are unwrung. This one is Lucianus, nephew to the king.
You are as good as a chorus, my lord.
I could interpret between you and your love, if I could see the puppets dallying.
You are keen, my lord, you are keen.
It would cost you a groaning to take off mine edge.
Still better and worse.
So you mistake your husbands. Begin, murderer. Leave thy damnable faces and begin. Come, the croaking raven doth bellow for revenge.
God's black hands, apt and time agreeing, confederate season else no creature seeing, thou mixture rank of midnight weeds collected with Hecate's band, thrice blasted, thrice infected, thy natural magic and dire property, unwholesome life usurps immediately.
Poisons him of the garden for his estate. His name's Gonzago. The story is extant and written in very choice Italian. You shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's wife.
The king rises.
What? Frightened with false fire?
How fares my lord?
Give over the plague.
Give me some light! Away!
Lights! Lights! Lights!
Why, let the strucken deer go weep. A heart ungalled play, for some must watch while some must sleep. Thus runs the world away. Would not this, sir, and a forest of feathers, if the rest of my fortunes turn base with me, with 2 provincial roses on my raised shoes, get me a fellowship and a cry of players.
Half a share?
A whole one, aye. For thou dost know, O Damon dear, this realm dismantled was of Jove himself, and now reigns here a very, very Pajok.
You might have rhymed.
Oh, good Horatio. I'll take the ghost's word for £1,000. Didst perceive?
Very well, my lord.
Upon the talk of the poisoning.
I did very well note him.
Aha! Come, some music. Come, the recorders. Or if the king like not the comedy, why then belike he likes it not pretty. Come, some music.
Good my lord, vouchsafe me a word with you.
Sir, a whole history.
The king, sir,
Aye, sir, what of him?
is in his retirement, marvelous distempered.
With drink, sir?
No, my lord, with choler.
Your wisdom should show itself more richer to signify this to the doctor, for me to put him to his purgation would perhaps plunge him into more choler.
Good my lord, put your discourse into some frame, and start not so wildly from my affair.
I am tame, sir. Pronounce.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, has sent me to you.
You are welcome.
Nay, my good lord, this courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you to make me a wholesome answer, I will to your mother's commandment. If not, your pardon and my return shall be the end of my business.
Sir, I cannot
What, my lord?
make you a wholesome answer. My wit's diseased. But, sir, such answer as I can make you shall command, or rather, as you say, my mother. Therefore, no more, but to the matter. My mother, you say.
Then thus she says, your behavior hath struck her into amazement and admiration.
Oh, wonderful son that can so astonish a mother. But is there no sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration? Impart.
She desires you to speak with her in her closet ere you go to bed.
We shall obey, were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you once did love me.
And do still. By these pickers and stealers.
Good my lord, what is the cause of your distemper? You do surely bar the door upon your own liberty if you deny your griefs to your friend.
Sir, I lack advancement.
How can that be when you have the voice of the king himself for your succession in Denmark?
Aye, sir, but while the grass grows, the proverb is something musty. Oh, the recorders. Oh, let me see one. To withdraw with you, why do you go about to recover the wind of me as if you would drive me into a toil?
My lord, if my duty be too bold, my love is too unmannerly.
I do not well understand that. Will you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
I do beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
It is as easy as lying. Govern these ventages with your fingers and thumbs, give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent music. Look you, these are the stops.
But these I cannot command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Why, look you now. How unworthy a thing you make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery. You would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass, and there is much music, excellent voice in this little organ, yet cannot you make it speak. Do you think I am easier to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you fret me, you cannot play upon me. God bless you, sir.
My lord, the queen would speak with you, and presently.
Do you see yonder cloud that's almost in shape of a camel?
By the mass, and 'tis like a camel indeed.
Then methinks it is like a weasel.
It is backed like a weasel.
Or like a whale.
Very like a whale.
Then I will come to my mother by and by. They fool me to the top of my bent. I will come by and by. I will come by and by.
So.
By and by is easily said. Leave me, friends. 'Tis now the very witching time of night, and churchyards yawn, and hell itself breathes out contagion into this world. Oh, could I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. Soft, now to my mother. O heart, lose not thy nature. Let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none. My tongue and soul in this be hypocrites. How in my words, some ever she shent, to give them seals, never my soul consent.
I like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore prepare you. I your commission will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you. The terms of our estate may not endure hazards so near as hourly grow out of his brows.
We will ourselves provide. Most holy and religious fear it is to keep those many, many bodies safe that live and feed upon your majesty.
A single and peculiar life is bound with all the strength and armor of the mind to keep itself from annoyance, but much more the spirit, that spirit upon whose weal depends and rests the lives of many. The cess of majesty dies not alone, but like a gulf doth draw what's near it with it. Or it is a massy wheel fixed on the summit of the highest mount, to whose huge spokes 10,000 lesser things are mortised and adjoined, which when it falls, each small annexment, petty consequence, attends the boisterous ruin. Never alone did the king sigh, but with a general groan.
Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage, for we will fetters put about this fear, which now goes too free-footed.
We will haste us.
My lord, he's going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras, I'll convey myself to hear the process. I'll warrant she'll tax him home. And as you said, And wisely was it said, 'tis meet that some more audience than a mother, since nature makes them partial, should o'erhear the speech of vantage. Fare you well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon't, a brother's murder. Pray, can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will? My strong guilt defeats my strong intent, and like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I shall first begin and both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force, to be forestalled ere we come to fall, or pardoned being down? And I'll look up. My fault is past, but oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder, my crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? In the corrupted currents of this world, offense's gilded hand may shove by justice, and off to seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves, compelled even to the teeth and forehead of our faults to give in evidence. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can. What can it not? Yet what can it when one cannot repent? O wretched state! O bosom black as death! O limed soul, that struggling to be free art more engaged. Help, angels! Make essay, bow stubborn knees and heart with strings of steel, be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Now I is a praying, and now I'll do it, and so goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole son, do this same villain send to heaven. This is higher in salary, not revenge. I took my father grossly, full of bread, with all his crimes broad blown, as flush as May, and how his audit stands, who knows save heaven. But in our circumstance and course of thought, 'tis heavy with him, and am I then revenged to take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No! Up, sword, and know thou a more horrid hent, when he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or the incestuous pleasure of his bed, a game, a swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in't, then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as damned and black as hell whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
He will come straight. Look you, lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and him. I'll silence me even here. Pray you, be round with him.
I'll warrant you, fear me not. Withdraw, I hear him coming.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, go, your question with a wicked tongue.
What? How now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the rood, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife. And would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay then, I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come, come and sit you down, you shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help! Ho!
What ho? Help!
How now? A rat for a ducat, dead!
Ah! Oh! I am slain!
Me! What hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
What a rash and bloody deed is this?
A bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king!
Aye, lady, it was my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune, thou find'st too busy to be such danger. Leave wringing of your hands peace. Sit you down and let me wring your heart, for so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff, if damned custom hath not brassed it so, that it be proof and bulwark against sense.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as dicers' oaths. Oh, such a deed as from the body of contraction plucks the very soul, and sweet religion makes a rhapsody of words. Heaven's face does glow o'er this solidarity uncompound mass with heated visage, as against the doom his thought sick at the act.
Ay me, what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look here upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentiment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow. Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command, a station like the herald Mercury, new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill, a combination and form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? Huh? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday in the blood is tame. It's humble and waits upon the judgment, and what judgment would step from this to this? Sense sure you have, else could you not have motion, but sure that sense is apoplexed, for madness would not err, nor sense to ecstasy was ne'er so thralled, but it reserved some quantity of choice to serve in such a difference. What devil was't that thus hath cozened you at hoodman blind? Eyes without feeling, feeling without sight, ears without hands or eyes, smelling sans all, or but a sickly part of one true sense could not so mope. Oh, shame, where is thy blush? Rebellious hell, if thou canst mutine in a matron's bones to flaming youth, let virtue be as wax and melt in her own fire. Proclaim no shame when the compulsive ardor gives the charge, since frost itself as actively doth burn, and reason panders will.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turn'st my eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their tinct.
Oh, nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty.
Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter in my ears no more. Sweet Hamlet!
Murderer and a villain! A slave that is not 1/20th part the tithe of your precedent lord, a vice of kings, a cut purse of the empire, and the rule that from a shelf the precious diadem stole and put it in his pocket.
No more!
A king of shreds and patches! Save me and hover o'er me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad!
Do you not come to your tardy sentence, tide that lapsed in time and passion? Let's go by the important acting of your dread command. Oh, say.
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet your almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Conceit in weakest bodies, strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it with you, lady?
How is it with you that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? For that your eyes, your spirits wildly peep, and as the sleeping soldiers in the alarm, your bedded hair like life in excrement starts up and stands on end, O gentle sun. Upon the head and flame of thy distemper sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look?
On him. On him! Look you how pale he glares! His form and cause conjoined, preaching to stones would make them capable. Do not look upon me! Lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects, then what I have to do will want true color, tears perchance for blood.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all. Yet all that is, I see.
Did you nothing hear?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Why, look you there. Look how it steals away. My father in his habit as he lived, look where he goes, even now out at the portal.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation, ecstasy, is very cunning in.
Ecstasy. My pulse, as yours doth temperately keep time and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test, and I the matter will reword, which madness would gamble from. Mother, for love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. With what skin and film the ulcerous place, whilst rank corruption, mining all within, infects unseen. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past. Avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rancor. Forgive me this, my virtue, for in the fatness of these pursy times, virtue itself of vice must pardon beg, yea, curb and woo for leave to do him good.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worser part of it and live the pure with the other half. Good night. But go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. That monster custom, who all sense doth eat of habits devil, is angel yet in this, that to the use of actions fair and good he likewise gives a frock or livery that aptly is put on. Refrain tonight, that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy. For use almost can change the stamp of nature, and either lodge the devil or throw him out with wondrous potency. Once more, good night. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord, I do repent. Heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this, and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel, only to be kind. This bad begins, and worse remains behind. One word more, lady.
What shall I do?
Not this, by no means, that I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed. Pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him for a pair of reechy kisses, or paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, make you to ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. For good you let him know, for who that's but a queen, fair, sober, wise, would from a paddock, from a bat, a jib, such dear concernings hide? Who would do so? No, in despite of sense and secrecy, unpeg the basket on the house's top, let the birds fly, and like the famous ape, to try conclusions in the basket, creep and break your own neck down.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
I must to England. You know that.
Alack, I had forgot. 'Tis so concluded on.
There's letters sealed. And my two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will adders fanged, they bear the mandate. They must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery. Let it work. 'Tis the sport to have the engineer hoist with his own petar, and shall go hard, but I will delve 1 yard below their minds and blow them at the moon. 'Tis most sweet when in one line 2 crafts directly meet. This man shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. Mother, good night indeed. This counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, prating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, mother.
There's matter in these sighs, these profound heaves. You must translate, 'tis fit we understand them. Where is your son?
Bestow this place on us a little while. Ah, mine own lord, what have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind, when both contend which is the mightier. In his lawless fit behind the arras, hearing something astir, whips out his rapier, cries a rat, and in this brainish apprehension, kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed! It had been so with us had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us, whose providence should have kept short, restrained, and out of haunt this mad young man. But so much was our love, we would not understand what was most fit, but like the owner of a foul disease, to keep it from divulging, let it feed even on the pith of life. Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he had killed, or whom his very madness, like some ore among a mineral of metals base, shows itself pure. He weeps for what is done.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. The sun is no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence, and this vile deed we must with all our majesty and skill both countenance and excuse. Ho, Guildenstern! Friends, both, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you haste in this. Come, Gertrude, we'll call up our wisest friends and let them know both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. So envious slander, whose whisper o'er the world's diameter, as level as the cannon to his blank, transports his poisoned shot, may miss our name and hit the woundless air. Come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Safely stowed.
Hamlet, Lord Hamlet!
What's soft? What noise? Who calls on Hamlet? Oh, here they come.
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust whereto 'tis kin.
Tell us where 'tis, that we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge, what replication should be made by the son of a king?
What, take you me for a sponge, my lord?
Aye, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities, but such officers do the king best service in the end. He keeps them like an ape an apple in the corner of his jaw, first mouthed to be last swallowed. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
I am glad of it. A knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to the king.
The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing who...
A thing, my lord.
Of nothing. Bring me to him. Hide fox, and all after.
I have sent to seek him and to find the body. How dangerous is it this man goes loose? Yet must not we put the strong law on him? He's loved of the distracted multitude, who like not in their judgment but their eyes. And where 'tis so, the offender's scourge is weighed, but never the offense. To bear all smooth and even, this sudden sending him away must seem deliberate pause. Diseases desperate grown by desperate appliance are relieved, or not at all. How now? What hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
But where is he?
Without, my lord, guarded, to know your pleasure.
Bring him before us.
Oh, bring in the lord.
Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper? Where?
Not where he eats, but where I is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are in at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar is but variable service. 2 dishes, but to 1 table, that's the end.
Alas, alas.
A man may fish with the worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of the fish that hath fed of that worm.
What dost thou mean by this?
Nothing, but to show you how a king may go a progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Sent thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him to the other place yourself. But if indeed you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go seek him there.
I will stay till you come.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety, which we do tender as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself, the bark is ready and the wind at help. The associates tend and everything is bent for England.
For England.
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it. if thou knewst our purposes.
I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother, father and mother is man and wife is one flesh, so my mother. Come, for England.
Follow him at foot, tempt him with speed abroad. Delay it not. I'll have him hence tonight. Away, for everything is sealed and done that else leans on the affair. Pray you make haste. England, if my love thou hold'st at aught, as my great power thereof may give thee sense, since yet thy cicatrice looks raw and red after the Danish sword, and thy free awe pays homage to us, thou mayst not coldly set our sovereign process, which imparts at full, by letters congruing to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England. For like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me, till I know 'tis done, howe'er my haps my joys were ne'er begun.
Go, captain, from me greet the Danish king. Tell him that by his license Fortinbras craves the conveyance of a promised march over his kingdom. You know the rendezvous. If that his majesty would aught with us, we shall express our duty in his eye and let him know.
I will do it, my lord.
Go softly on.
Good sir, whose powers are these?
They are of Norway, sir.
How purposed you, sir, I pray you?
Against some part of Poland.
Who commands them, sir?
The nephew to old Norway, Fortinbras.
Goes it against the main of Poland, sir, or for some frontier?
Truly to speak, and with no addition, we go to gain a little patch of ground that hath in it no profit but the name. To pay 5 ducats, 5, I would not farm it, nor will it yield to Norway or the Pole a ranker rate, should it be sold in fee.
And then the Polak never will defend it.
Yes, it is already garrisoned.
2,000 souls and 20,000 ducats will not debate the question of this straw. This is the imposthume of much wealth and peace that inward breaks and shows no cause without why the man dies. I humbly thank you, sir.
God by you, sir.
Well, please you go, my lord.
I'll be with you straight. Go a little before. How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge. What is a man, if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast, no more. Sure, he that made us with such large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fust in an unused. Now, whether it be bestial oblivion or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, a thought which quartered hath but 1 part wisdom and ever 3 parts coward, I do not know, yet why yet I live to say this thing's to do, sith I have cause and will and strength and means to do't. Examples gross as earth exhort me. Witness this army of such mass and charge, led by a delicate and tender prince whose spirit with divine ambition puffed makes mouths at the invisible event, exposing what is mortal and unsure to all that fortune, death, and danger dare, even for an eggshell. Rightly to be great is not to stir without great argument, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honor's at the stake. How stand I then that have a father killed, a mother stained, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20 1,000 men that for a fantasy and trick of fame go to their graves like beds, fight for a plot whereon the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough and continent to hide the slain. Oh, from this time forth my thoughts be bloody, will be nothing worth.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate, indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father, says she hears there's tricks in the world, and hems and beats her chest, spurns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move the hearers to collection. They yawn at it and botch the words up to fit their own thoughts, which, as her winks and nods and gestures yield them up, indeed would make one think there might be thought, though nothing sure, yet much unhappily.
'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds.
Let her come in. To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff and his sandal shoe.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you, nay, pray you, mark. He is dead and gone, lady, he is dead and gone. At his head a grass-green turf, at his heels a stone. Oh,
nay, but Ophelia.
Pray you mark. White his shroud as the mountain snow.
Alas, look here, my lord.
Lauded always sweet flowers, which we wept to the ground, did not go with true love showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
God deal you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her father.
Pray. Let's have no more words of this, but when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day. All in the morning betime, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. And up he rose, and donned his clothes, and cupped the chamber door, let in the maid that out a maid never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia.
Indeed, without an oath, I'll make an end on it. By Kits and by Saint Charity, alack and fie for shame. Young men will do it if they come to it, by cock they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. He answers, so would I have done by yonder sun, and thou hast not come to my bed, and thou hast not come to my bed.
How long has she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient, but I cannot choose but weep to think that they would lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach, good night. Ladies, good night. Sweet ladies, good night. Good night.
Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. Oh, This is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death, and now behold, Gertrude, Gertrude. When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next your son gone, and he, most violent author of his own just remove. The people muddied thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers for good Polonius' death, and we have done but greenly in hugger-mugger to inter him. Poor Ophelia divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures or mere beasts. Last, and as much containing as all these, her brother is in secret come from France, feeds on this wonder, keeps himself in clouds, and wants not buzzers to infect his ear with pestilent speeches of his father's death, wherein necessity of matter beggared will nothing stick our person to arraign in ear and ear. Oh, my dear Gertrude, this, like to a murdering peace, in many places gives me superfluous death.
Sire, sire!
Alack, what noise is this?
Attend! Where is my Swissers? Let them guard the door. What is the matter?
Save yourself, my lord. The ocean overpeering of his list eats not the flats with more impetuous haste than young Laertes in a riotous head overbears your officers. The rabble call him lord, and as the world were now but to begin, antiquity forgot, custom not known, the ratifiers and props of every word, they cry, choose we, Laertes shall be king. Caps, hands, tongues applaud it to the clouds. Laertes shall be king. Laertes king.
Let us come in. Let us come in.
How cheerfully on the false trail they cry, oh, this is counter, you false Danish dogs.
The doors are broke.
Where is this king? Sirs, stand you all without.
No, let's come in.
I pray you, give me leave.
We will. We will.
I think you keep the door. Wild king, give me my father.
Calmly, good Laertes.
That drop of blood that's calm proclaims me bastard. Cries cuckold to my father, brands the harlot even here between the chaste unsmirched brow of my true mother.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. There's such divinity doth hedge a king that treason can but peep to what it would, acts little of his will. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with to hell, allegiance, vows to the blackest ever conscience, and great to the profoundest pit I dare. Damnation. To this point I'll stand, that both the worlds I gave to negligence, let come what comes, only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world's. And for my means, I'll husband them so well, they shall go far with little.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father, is't writ in your revenge, that swoop stake, you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
To his good friends, thus wide I'll ope my arms, and like the kind knife, life-rendering pelican, repass them with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman, that I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment peer as day does to your eye.
Let her come in! Let her come in!
Oh no, what noise is that? Heat, dry up my brains. Tears 7 times I'll burn out the taste and sense and virtue of mine eye. By heaven, thy madness shall be paid with weight till our scale turn the beam. Oh, Rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. Oh, heaven, is it possible a young maid's wit should be as mortal as an old man's life? Nature is fine in love, and where 'tis fine, it sends some precious instance of itself after the thing it loves.
For him barefaced on the bier, hey non nunny nunny, hey nunny, and in his grave rained many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
So thy wits and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
No, you must sing a down, and you call him a down, oh, how the wheel becomes it. It is the false steward that stole his master's daughter.
It's nothing's more than matter.
There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray you, love, remember. And there's pansies, that's for thoughts.
Document and madness, thoughts and remembrance fitted.
There's fennel for you and columbines. There's rue for you, and here's some for me. We may call it herb of grace Sundays. You may wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say a made a good end. For bonny sweet robin is all my joy.
Thought in affliction's passion, hell itself she turns to favor and prettiness.
I will not come again. Will it not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed, he will never come again. His beard was white as snow, all flaxen was his poll. He is gone. He's gone, and we cast away my God of mercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls, I pray God by you.
Do you see this? Oh, God.
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. But go apart, make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me, if by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched. We will our kingdom give, our crown, our life, and all that we call ours to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we shall jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no trophy, sword or hatchment, or his bones, no noble rite, no formal ostentation, cry to be heard as 'twere from heaven to earth, that I must call it into question.
So you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me.
What are they that would speak with me?
Seafaring men, sir. They say they have letters for you.
Let them come in. Do not know from what part of the world I should be greeted, if not from Lord Hamlet.
God bless you, sir.
Let him bless thee too.
And shall, sir, to please him. Here's a letter for you, sir. It came from the ambassador that was bound for England. If your name be Horatio, as I am to let you know it is.
Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give these fellows some means to the king. They have letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow for sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them. On the instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly death. I have words to speak, and thine ear will make thee dumb, yet are they much too light for the bore of the matter. These good fellows will bring thee where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. Be that thou knowest thine, Hamlet. Come, I will give you way for these letters, and do it the speedier that you may direct me to him from whom you brought them.
Now must your conscience my acquittal seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend, since you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he, which hath your noble father slain, pursued my life.
It well appears. But tell me why you proceeded not against these feats so criminal and so capital in nature, as by your safety, greatness, wisdom, all things else, you mainly were stirred up.
For two special reasons, which may to you perhaps seem much unsinewed, but yet to me they are strong. The queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks, and for myself, my virtue or my plague, be it either which, she is so conjunctive to my life and soul that, as the star moves not, but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive, why, to a public count I might not go, is the great love the general gender bear him, who, dipping all his faults in their affection, work like the spring that turneth wood to stone, convert his gyves to graces, so that my arrows, too slightly timbered for so loud a wind, would have reverted to my bow again, but not where I have aimed them.
And so have I, a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, whose worth it praises may go back again, stood challenger on mount of all the age for her perfections. My revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so dull, so flat and dull, that we can let our beard be shook with danger and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that, I hope, will teach you to imagine. How now, what news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. These to your majesty, this one to the queen.
From Hamlet, who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not. They were given me by Claudio. He received them of him that brought them.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking you pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet, what should this mean? Are all the rest come back? Or is it some abuse or no such thing?
Know you the hand.
'Tis Hamlet's character, naked. And in the postscript here, he says, alone. Can you advise me?
I am lost in it, my lord, but let him come. Forms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth. Thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, as how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
I, my lord. So you will not overrule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. If he be now returned as checking at his voyage, and that he means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall. And for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled. The rather if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You have been talked of since your travel much. and that in Hamlet's hearing, for a quality wherein they say you shine, your sum of parts did not together pluck such envy from him as did that one, and that in my regard of the worthiest siege.
What part is that, my lord?
A very riband in the cap of youth, yet needful too, for youth no less becomes the light and careless livery that it wears than settled age, his sables and his weeds importuning health and graveness. 2 months since, here was a gentleman of Normandy. I have seen myself and served against the French, and they can well on horseback, but this scout had witchcraft in't. He grew unto his seat, and to such wondrous doing brought his horse as had he been encorpsed and demi-natured with the brave beast. So far he topped my thought that I, in forgery of shapes and tricks, come short of what he did.
Norman, was it?
Norman.
Upon my life. Lamont.
The very same.
I know him well. He's the brooch indeed and gem of all the nation.
He made confession of you, and gave you such a masterly report for art and exercise in your defense, and for your rapier, most especial, that he cried out 'twould be a sight indeed if one could match you. The scribers of their nation, he swore, had neither motion guard nor eye if you opposed them. Sir, this report of his did Hamlet so envenom with his envy that he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming o'er to play with you. Now out of this—
What out of this, my lord?
Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your father, but that I know love is begun by time, and that I see in passages of proof time qualifies the spark and fire of it. There lives within the very flame of love a kind of weak or snuff that will abate it, and nothing is at a like goodness still, for goodness growing to a pleurisy dies in his own too much. That we would do, we should do when we would. For this would changes and hath abatements and delays as many as there are tongues, are hands, are accidents, and then this should is like a spendthrift sigh that hurts by easing, but to the quick of the ulcer. Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself indeed your father's son more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds, but good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returned, shall know you are come home. Will put on those shall praise your excellence, and set a double varnish on the fame the Frenchman gave you, bring you in fine together, and wager o'er your heads. He, being remiss, most generous, and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease or with a little shuffling you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a pass of practice requite him for your father.
I will do it. And for that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank, so mortal that but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue under the moon, can save the thing from death that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, that if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. Weigh what convenience, both of time and means, may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift look through our bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore this project should have a back or second that might hold if this did blast in proof. Soft, let me see. We'll make a solemn wager of your cunnings. When in your motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end, and that he calls for drink, I'll have preferred him a chalice for a nonce, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stock, our purpose may hold there. But stay, what noise?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel. So fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Where?
There is a willow grows ascant the brook that shows his hoary leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she make of crow flowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs her carnet weeds, clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook, her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like awhile they bore her up, which time she chaunted snatches of old lauds, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and induced unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments heavy with their drink pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
She is drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much water hast thou, poor Ophelia. And therefore I forbid my tears. But it is our trick. Nature her custom holds, let shame say what it will. When these are gone, the woman will be out. Adieu, my lord, I have speech of fire that fame would blaze, but this folly drowns it.
Let's follow Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now, fear I, this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
Is she to be buried in Christian burial when she willingly seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is. Therefore she makes her grave, make her grave straight. Crowner hath sate on her and finds it a Christian burial.
How can that be, unless she drowned herself in her own defense?
Why, 'tis found so.
It must be, say, offendendo. It cannot be else. For here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act, and an act hath three branches. If it is to act, to do, to perform, argal. She drowned herself wittingly.
Nay. But hear you, Goodman Delver.
Give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man. Good. If the man go to the water and drown himself, blah, 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 it is, will he, nil he goes, mark you that. But if the water comes to him and drowned him, blah, 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 he drowns not himself, Argal. He that is not guilty of his own death shortens not his own life.
But is this law?
Aye, Mary, 'tis Crowner's quest law.
Will you have the truth on it? If this had not been a gentlewoman, she would have been buried outside of Christian burial.
Well, there thou sayest, and the more pity that the great folk should have countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves, more than they're ever Christian. Come, my spade. There is no ancient gentleman, but gardeners, ditchers, and grave makers. They hold up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman?
He was the first that ever bore arms.
Why, he had none.
What art, heathen? How dost thou understand the scripture? The scripture says Adam digged. Could he dig without arms? But I put another question to thee. If thou answerest me not to the purpose, confess thyself.
Go to.
What is that builds stronger than either the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gallows maker. For that frame outlives 1,000 tenants.
I like thy wit, well, in good faith. The gallows does well, but how does it well? It does well to those that do ill. Now, thou dost ill to say the gallows is built stronger than the church. Ah, gal, the gallows may do well to thee. To it again come.
Who builds stronger than a mason, a shipwright, or a carpenter?
Aye, tell me that, and Anyo.
Mary, now I can tell. Mass, I cannot tell.
Cudgel thy brains nor about it, for your dull ass will not mend this pace with beating, and when you're asked this question next, say a grave maker. The houses he makes last till doomsday. Go get thee in and fetch me a sup of liquor.
Yeah.
Oh, in youth I did love, me thought it was very sweet to contract, oh, the time for of my behold. Methought there was a nothing as meet.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business? Sings in grave making.
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
Is e'en so? The hand of little employment hath the daintier sense.
But age with his stealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch, and hath shipped me into the land as if I had never been such.
That skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground as if 'twere Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. This might be the pate of a politician which this ass now o'erreaches, one that would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Or of a courtier, which could say, Good morrow, sweet lord, how dost thou, sweet lord? This might be my lord such a one, that praised my lord such a one's horse when meant to beg it, might it not?
Aye, my lord.
Even so. Now my lady worms, chopless, and knocked about the mazzard with a sexton's spade. Here's a fine revolution. And we had the trick to see it. Did these bones cost no more the breeding, but to play at loggets with them? Mine ache to think on't.
Oh, a pickaxe and a spade for a shrouding sheet, or a pit of clay for to be made for such a guest as meet.
Why may not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddities now, his quilities, his cases, his tenures, and his tricks? Why does he suffer this mad knave now to knock him about the sconce with a dirty shovel, and will not tell him of his action of battery? This fellow might be in his time a great buyer of land, with his statutes, his recognizances, his fines, his double vouchers, his recoveries. Is this the fine of his fines and the recovery of his recoveries, to have his fine pate full of fine dirt? Will his vouchers vouch him no more of his purchases, and double ones too, than the length and breadth of a pair of indentures? The very conveyances of his lands will scarcely lie in this box, and must the inheritor himself have no more? Huh?
Not a jot more, my lord.
Is not parchment made of sheepskins?
Aye, my lord, and of calfskins too.
They are sheep and calves which seek out assurance in that. I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave's this, Sara?
Mine, sir. Oh, a bit of clay for to be made for such a guest is meet.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
You lie on it, sir, and therefore 'tis not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it, to be in it and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick. Therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill away again from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman, then?
For none, neither.
Who is to be buried in?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is. We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. By the Lord, Horatio, this 3 years I have took note of it. The age is grown so picked that the toe of the peasant comes so near the heel of the courtier he galls his kite. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Oh, of all the days in the year, I came to that day that our last King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was that very day that young Hamlet was born. Oh, he that is mad and sent to England.
Aye, Mary, why was he sent to England?
Why? Because he was mad. He shall recover his wits there, or if I do not, 'tis no great matter there.
Why?
'Twill not be seen in him there. There the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Oh, very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, even with losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark. I have been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie the earth ere he rot?
Faith, if he be not run before a die, as we have many pocky courses that will scarce hold the lane, and a will last year, some 8 year or 9 year. A tanner will last 9 year.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned with his trade that it will keep out water a great while, and your water is a sore decayer of your whoresome dead body. Here is the skull that now layeth, in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
A whoresome mad fellow it was. Who do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. Pour a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was, sir, Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This.
Even that?
Yes. Or Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. Fellow of infinite jest. Most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. Now, how horrid in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how often. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment, that were wont to set the table on board? Not one now to mock your own grinning, quite chop fallen. Now get you to my lady's chamber, and tell her, let her paint an inch thick to this favor, she must come. Make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked to this fashion of the earth?
Even so,
Smelled so.
Even so, my lord.
To what base uses we may return. Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till it find it stopping a bunghole?
'Twere to consider too curiously to consider so.
No, faith, not a jot. But to follow him thither with modesty enough and likelihood to lead it. Alexander died, Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth to dust, the dust is the earth, of earth we make loam, and why of that loam whereto he was converted might they not stop a beer barrel? Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that the earth which kept the world in awe should patch a wall to expel the winter's flaw. But soft a while, here comes the king. The queen, the courtiers. Who's this they follow, with such maimed rites? This doth betoken the course they followed did with desperate hand foredo its own life. 'Twas of some estate. Crouch we a while and mark.
Ceremony else.
That is Laertes, very noble youth, mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranty. Her death was doubtful, and but that great command o'ersways the order, she should in ground unsanctified been lodged till the last trumpet. For charitable prayers, shards, flints, and pebbles should be thrown on her. Yet she has allowed her virgin krantz, her maiden struments, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem, and such rest to her as to peace parted souls.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling.
Sweets to the sweet farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not to have strewed thy grave.
Oh, trouble, woe. Fall 10 times trouble on that cursed head whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold up the earth a while till I have caught her once more in mine arms. Now pile your dust upon your quickened dead till of this flat a mountain you will make till o'ertop the Pelion, or the sky is yet a blue Olympus.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil take thy soul!
Thou prayest not well. I prithee take thy fingers from my throat, for though I am not splentive and rash, yet have I in me something dangerous which let thy wisdom fear. Hold off thy hand.
Pluck them asunder.
Hamlet! Hamlet!
Gentlemen!
Good my lord, be quiet.
I will fight him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag.
Oh, my son, what theme?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not with all their quantity of love make up my son. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes.
For love of God, forbear him.
Moons, show me what thou do. Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself, would drink up Isel, eat a crocodile? I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine? To outface me with leaping in her grave, be buried quick with her, and so will I. And if thou prate of mountains, let them throw millions of acres on us till our ground, singeing his pate against the burning zone, make Ossa like a wart. Nay, and thou'lt mouth, I'll rant as well as thou.
that this is mere madness. And thus a while the fit will work on him, anon as patient as the female dove when that her golden couplets are disclosed, his silence will sit drooping.
Hear you, sir. What is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever. But it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day.
I pray thee, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience, our proceeding be.
So much for this, sir. Now shall you see the other. You do remember all the circumstance.
Remember it, my lord.
Sir, in my heart there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. Methought I lay worse than the mutines and the bilboes, rashly, and praised be rashness for it. Let us know our indiscretion sometimes serves us well when our deep plots do pall, and that should learn us there's a divinity that shapes our ends. Rough hew them how we will.
That is most certain.
Up from my cabin, my sea gown scarfed about me in the dark. Groped I to find out them, and had my desire fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold my fears, forgetting manners, to unseal their grand commission, where I found, Horatio, royal knavery, an exact command, larded with many several sorts of reasons, importing Denmark's health and England's too, with such bugs and goblins in my life that on the supervise, no leisure baited, no, not to stay the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
Is possible.
Here's the commission. Read it at thy leisure. But wilt thou hear how I did proceed?
Aye, my good lord.
Being thus bended around with the villainies, or I could make a prologue to my brains, they had begun the play. I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair. I once did hold it, as our statists do, a baseness to write fair, and labored much how to forget that learning. But, sir, now it did me yeoman's service. Wilt thou know the effect of what I wrote?
Aye, my good lord.
An earnest conjuration from the king. As England was his faithful tributary, his love between them like the palm might flourish, his peace should still her wheaten garland wear, and stand a comma between their amities, and many such like as of great charge, that on the view and knowing of these contents, without debatement further, more or less, he should those bearers put to sudden death, not shriving time allowed.
How was this sealed?
Why, even in that was heaven ordinant. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the model of that Danish seal, folded the writ up in the form of the other, subscribed it, gave the impression, placed it safely, the changeling never known. Now the next day was our sea fight. What to this was sequent thou knowst already.
So Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to it.
My man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience. Their defeat does by their own insinuation grow. 'Tis dangerous when the baser nature comes between the pass and fell incensed points of mighty opposites.
Why, what a king is this?
Does it not, think thee, stand me upon he that hath killed my king and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such cozenage, is not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm, and is not to be damned to let this canker of our nature come in further evil?
It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business there.
Will be short. The interim's mine, and a man's life no more than to save one. But I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. By the image of my cause, I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favors, but sure the bravery of his grief did put me into towering passion.
Peace. Who comes here?
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost know this waterfly?
No, my good lord.
Thy state is the more gracious, for 'tis a vice to know him. He hath much land and fertile. Let a beast be lord of beasts, and his crib shall stand at the king's mess. 'Tis a chough, but, as I say, spacious in the possession of dirt.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
You will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right use, for 'tis for the head.
Thank your lordship. It is very hot.
No, believe me, 'tis very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
But yet methinks it is very sultry and hot for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord, it is very sultry, as 'twere I cannot tell how. My lord, my majesty bade me signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you, remember.
Nay, my good lord, for my ease, in good faith. Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes, believe me, an absolute gentleman full of most excellent differences, of very soft society and very a great showing indeed, to speak sellingly of him. He is the card or calendar of gentry, for you shall find in him the continent of what part a gentleman would see.
Sir, his definement suffers no perdition in you. Though I know to divide him inventorially would does thee the arithmetic of memory, and yet but yaw neither in respect of his quick sale, but in the verity of extoltment. I take him to be a soul of great article, and his infusion of such dearth and rareness as to make true diction of him. His semblance is his mirror, and who else would trace him? His umbrage, nothing more.
Your lordship speaks most infallibly of him.
The consonancy, sir. Why do we wrap the gentleman in our more rawer breath?
Sir?
It's not possible to understand in another tongue. You will do it, sir, really.
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Laertes?
His purse is empty already. All his golden words are spent.
Of him, sir.
I know you are not ignorant.
I would you did, sir, yet in faith, if you did, it would not much approve me. Well, sir?
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
I dare not confess that, lest I should compare him in excellence, but to know a man well were to know himself.
I mean, sir, for his weapon, but in the imputation laid on him by them, in his meed, he unfellowed.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's two of his weapons. But well.
The king, sir, hath wagered with him 6 Barbary horses, against the which he has impawned, as I take it, 6 French rapiers and poignards with their various signs as girdle, hangers, and so 3 of the carriages in faith are very dear to fancy, very responsive to the hilts, most delicate carriages, and of very liberal conceit.
What call you the carriages?
I knew you must be edified by the margin ere you had done.
The carriages, sir, are the hangers.
The phrase would be more germane to the matter if we could carry a cannon by our side. I would it might be hangers till then, but on. 6 Barbary horses against 6 French swords, their assigns, and 3 liberal conceited carriages. That's the French bet against the Danish. Why is this all impawned, as you say it?
Well, the king, sir, hath laid, sir, that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath laid on 12 for 9, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, my lord, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, it is the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose. I will win for him, and I can. If not, I will gain nothing but my shame in the odd hits.
Shall I deliver you so?
To this effect, sir. After what flourish your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours. It does well to commend it himself. There are no tongues else for his turn.
The slapwing runs away with the shell on his head.
But to comply, sir, with his dug before I sucked it, thus has he and many more of the same breed that I know the drossy age dotes on, only got the tune of the time and out of the habit of encounter, a kind of yesty collection which carries them through and through the most profound and winnowed opinions, and do but blow them to their trial. The bubbles are out.
My lord, his majesty commend him to you by young Osric, who brings back to him that you attend him in the hall. He sends to know if your pleasure to hold play with Laertes, or that if you will take the longer time.
I am constant to my purposes. They follow the king's pleasure. If his fitness speaks, mine is ready now or whensoever, provided I be so able as now.
The king and queen and all are coming down.
In happy time.
The queen desires you to use some gentle entertainment to Laertes before you fall to play.
He well instructs me.
You will lose, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. Thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. It is no matter.
Nay, good my lord.
It is but foolery. But it is such a kind of gain-giving as would perhaps trouble a woman.
If your mind is like anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There is a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. Since no man of aught he leaves knows what is to leave betimes, let be.
Come, Hamlet, come, and take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong, but pardoned as you are a gentleman. This presence knows, and you must needs have heard how I am punished with a sore distraction. What I have done that might your nature, honor, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Was Hamlet wronged Laertes? Never, Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be ta'en away, and when he's not himself does wrong Laertes, then Hamlet does it not. Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? His madness. If it be so, Hamlet is of the faction that is wronged. His madness is poor Hamlet's enemy. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot my arrow o'er the house and hurt my brother.
Whose motive in this case should stir me most? To my revenge, but in my terms of honor, I stand aloof, and will no reconcilement till by some elder masters of known honor I have a voice of president of peace to keep my name on gourd. But till that time I do receive Your offered love like love. I will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Give us the foils.
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes. In mine ignorance your skill shall like a star the darkest night stick fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Give them the foils, young Ostrich. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lord. Your grace has laid the odds of the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both. But since he is bettered, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. These foils have all a length.
Set me the stoops of wine.
Lord, I, my good lord. Yeah.
Set me the stoops of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better health, and in the cup an union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Give me the cups, and let the kettle to the trumpet speak, the trumpet to the cannoneer without, the cannons to the heavens, the heaven to earth. Now the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin. And you, the judges, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Oh, my lord.
1.
No.
Judgment.
A hit! Very palpable hit!
Well, again.
Stay, give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first. Set it off by a while. Come. Another hit! What say you?
Touch. Touch, I do confess it.
Our son shall win.
He's fat and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin, rub thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you, pardon me.
It is the poisoned cup. It is too late.
I dare not drink yet, madam. By and by.
Come, let me wipe thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
I do not think.
It is almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes. You do but dally.
Huh.
Pray you pass with your best violence. I am sure you make a wanton of me.
Oh, say you so. Come on.
Nothing neither way.
I'll have at you now.
Ha!
Oh.
Part them. They are incensed.
Nay, come again.
Ah! Look to the queen there, oh!
They bleed on both sides. How is my lord?
It's Laertes!
Why is this woodcock to mine own springe, Osric? I am justly killed with mine own treachery.
What does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No, no, the drink, the drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet, the drink, I am poisoned.
Oh, villainy. Oh, let the door be locked. Treachery, seek it out.
It is here. Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there's not half an hour's life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and unvenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poison, I can no more. The king's to blame.
Point envenomed too. Then venom to thy work.
Treason!
Treason!
Oh, yet defend me, friends. I am but hurt.
Here, thou incestuous, murderous, damned Dane! Drink of this potion! Is thy union here? Follow my mother!
It is justly, sir. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and thy father's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven, make me free from it. I follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Wretched queen, adieu. You that look pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mutes or audience to this act, had I but time, as this fell Sergeant Death is strict in his arrest, oh, I could tell you. Let it be. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am more an antique Roman than a Dane. Here's yet some liquor left.
As thou art a man, give me the cup. Let go. By heaven, I'll have it. Oh, good Horatio, what a wounded name. Things standing thus unknown shall I leave behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw a breath in pain to tell my story. What warlike noise is this?
Young Fortinbras, with conquest come from Poland to the ambassadors of England, gives this warlike volley.
Oh, I die, Horatio. The content poison never o'ercrows my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England, but I do prophesy the election lights on Fortinbras. He has my dying voice. So tell him the occurrence more or less to have solicited. The rest is silence.
Thou cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Why does the drum come hither?
Where is this sight?
What is it you would see? If aught of woe or wonder, cease your search.
This quarry cries on havoc. O proud death, what feast is toward in thine eternal cell, that so many princes at a shot so bloodily hast struck?
The sight is dismal, and our affairs from England come too late. Ears are senseless that should give us hearing, to tell him his commandment is fulfilled, that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Where should we have our thanks?
Not from his mouth had it the ability of life to thank you. He never gave commandment for their death. But since so jump upon this bloody question, you from the Polack wars and you from England are here arrived, give order that these bodies high on a stage be placed to the view, and let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, of deaths put on by coming and forced cause, and in this upshot purposes mistook, fallen on the inventors' heads. All this I can truly deliver.
Let us haste to hear it, and call the noblest to the audience. From me, with sorrow I embrace my fortune. I have some rights of memory in this kingdom, which now to claim my advantage doth invite me.
Of that I shall have also cause to speak, and from his mouth whose voice will draw no more. But let this same be presently performed, even while men's minds are wild, lest more mischance on plots and errors happen.
Let 4 captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage, for he was likely, had he been put on, to have proved most royal. And for his passage, the soldier's music and the rite of war speak loudly for him. Take up the bodies. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss. Go, bid the soldiers shoot.
All right, come on back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this, our final reading. We did it. We got through the whole canon. I can't believe it. Thank you to all of our actors from way back in January when we started to tonight. Thank you so much. But we're not done yet. We'll be back in the new year with some more fun projects. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, everybody.